Hey, Saul Carter here, the owner of Fit Body Bootcamp in Manteca and in Turlock. And I get questioned on occasion, like people are like, oh, I hear in the news, like, oh, we're not supposed to eat trans fats, or they're making trans fats illegal. And what's funny about that, at one point in time, the government was like, oh, you have to eat trans fats because it's better. And so, first of all, what is a trans fat? Well, trans fats are it's actually a processed fat. So when you have a vegetable oil that is basically liquid at room temperature, and then you process it so it is solid at room temperature, that is basically a trans fat. And what happens to it chemically is it actually has a little bit different structure than a normal saturated fat cell, as opposed to a saturated fat cell actually kind of looks like this, whereas a trans fat kind of looks like this. And all that really means to you is it's unnatural. It comes from processed foods. If you think of margarine, which typically is something that is nothing but trans fats, it is basically vegetable oil that has been hydrogenated, so it is solid at room temperature. Otherwise, your margarine would just be like bloop, it'd be a bowl, right? You'd have to put it in a bowl. But anyway, so why do you want to avoid trans fats? Well, and I'm going to read these off to you, but trans fats literally help you or lower, there's eating risks with trans fats because of the following things. One, they lower your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, what you hear of as good cholesterol. They suppress your excretion of bile acids. So your body, as part of its digestion, produces bile to help you digest food and everything, and then it sloughs that off on a regular basis. But if you have trans fats in your body, you actually keep that bile in there, and then obviously there's digestive problems and other things like that. It increases your own cholesterol production. So a lot of people don't know this, but your body actually creates the majority of the cholesterol that is in your body. So you can eat cholesterol, but if you're functioning normally, your body actually will evaluate how much cholesterol has been eaten, and then it will actually regulate how much cholesterol production is on your end. However, if you eat a lot of trans fats, you will increase your cholesterol, which leads to plaque psoriasis and all kinds of other things in the veins, and so you don't want. It's one of the downsides to actually eating trans fats, and it also competes with essential fats for transport cells. So there are cells that take essential fats all around your body, right? And so what happens when you have a trans fat is, because it's a fat in your body knows the difference, but the transport cells don't necessarily know the difference. It's going to start to transport a trans fat, which does not help you build all the different things in your body and create the hormones and all those other things that comes from fats as your body is supposed to. So it competes with your bodily functions whereas your fat transportation around your body. And then lastly, it'll create and worsen essential acid deficiencies, or fatty acid deficiencies. So if you live in a place where you're not getting the right ratios of fatty acids and your body isn't burning the right calories in the right way and everything, eating trans fats will do nothing but make that worse. So the real question now is, okay, how do I avoid eating trans fats? Well, it's really simple, actually. To avoid eating the majority of it, don't eat processed foods. It's that simple. Okay, so there is, obviously, we're not going to live through our lives without eating processed foods. However, you can avoid the majority of them if you eat whole, natural, unprocessed foods. So fruits and vegetables and quinoa and all this other things, and not stuff out of a can or a box or other things like that. All right? So if you want to know more about how to creating better habits in your life from a nutritional standpoint, you need to come to one of my Fit Body boot camps. You'll not only get 30-minute workouts that are personal trainer guided, fun, high energy, and burn twice the calories in half the time, but you will also get to know more about what the best ways to maximize your nutrition is. And we have a process here at Fit Body Bootcamp where we just are trying to create better habits, because I want you to have better lifelong habits where your eating is concerned. So when you go on vacation, or a year from now, you didn't go on an 100% whole cabbage diet for a week, and then you just went insane 2 weeks from now and ate nothing but milk chocolate for a week, right? So we don't want to get you there. We want you to get in good, healthy habits so you also can have a good, healthy life, long life, and living a healthy life. The real key to that is being able to function and do the things you want to do. It doesn't matter if you're necessarily alive if you can't do what you want to do, right? So that's why we're things the way we do here at Fit Body Bootcamp. Come check us out. We're in Manteca. We're in Turlock. Love to see you. Thank you much. Talk to you soon. Bye.